to know the psychology of first impressions. The science behind first impressions is intriguing. Researchers have found that our brains are wired for quick assessments. This ability dates back to our ancestors, who had to quickly decide if a situation or person was safe or threatening. In a split second, your brain sums up an encounter using thin slicing, a fancy term for making quick judgments based on limited information. Immediately, things like your attire, voice, and posture send subconscious signals.
That evaluating situations and people, it's a protective mechanism, and it's done in the amygdala, the part of the brain.
Influencing perceptions of traits like trustworthiness and competence. Snap decisions. Research indicates that it takes just 7 seconds to judge whether someone's likable or trustworthy. Anchoring effect. Once we've made our snap judgments, they stick, thanks to something called the anchoring effect. Your brain clings to first impressions and looks for info to confirm, not challenge, these initial thoughts. Halo effect. An overall impression, often based on a striking initial trait, e.g., a warm smile, can influence other perceptions like competence and kindness.
Okay, so this is what we see uh, happening in a negative way with police officers, right? When they say they fear for their life, a lot of times we say, well, why are they fearing? Because nobody's doing anything to them. They walk up to the car and they start escalating. They start escalating, right? According to the Martinez law, that's just been passed. It's the Martinez decision for police officers. They must describe their fear in detail and then describe why they feel it was reasonable and why it was could it be considered something every reasonable logical thinking officer would do in the same situation. So the amygdala, uh, the proper reaction, the proper behavior for a healthy amygdala depends on what you're thinking, how you're preconceived, and what your planned behavior is, your psychological behavior. When you approach this car, when you approach people, you must present yourself in a human way. You must, first consider you are approaching a human. You must consider your oath of office. You must consider your duty policy. You must consider everything that that these people are God. That these people are God's creatures. You have to treat them with respect and humanely. So, if you're not thinking like that when you approach people, if you have an underlying agenda that you're approaching the people with, like I'm their master, if, uh, I have to force them under my jurisdiction. I have to force them to respect me more than themselves. They have no rights. Who's going to bring me down? Who can stop me? I can do whatever I want to these people. And if they don't look at me like I look at myself, if they don't respect me and they try to say they have rights, they're equal with me, then I am in fear for my life. That's how the police are thinking. That's how the rogue and the violent police are thinking when they approach you, already escalated, ready to do harm, be violent in their psychological approach. When they're ready to present violence on you, then they have to have preconceived thought in a to approach you violently or escalate in anger and treat you like they are your rulers, like you got to do everything they tell you to do because they got on a blue uniform with a fake badge. All praises to the Most High. Let's see.
Judged in the first 7 seconds. What's judged in the first 7 seconds? When meeting someone new, we subconsciously analyze several aspects that influence our opinions: facial expressions, body language, vocal tone. Based on these cues, we make judgments about at least these key traits: trustworthiness, competence, confidence and friendliness, intelligence and capability, attractiveness. Now, think about past experiences. How many times have you quickly pegged someone as friendly or unapproachable based on these initial cues?
Okay, based on that, we have to remember that when the police profile you, they put you in a certain category. Are these people, are these people going to be dangerous to me? If I approach these people with my preconceived thinking, you know, dehumanizing them, putting them in certain categories, are they going to be violent? Are they going to just be, are they going to comply? Are they going to obey me like a slave master? Or are they going to start or be suggesting that I'm violating my oath of office, that I'm wrong, that I should not even be stopping them, that they have God-given rights? If they're going to do that, then I'm at danger. See, so when they see you, your skin tone and your nationality, they know they're addressing sovereign citizens that they're trying to treat uh, like they're trying to treat like subjects, second class, third class citizens that they're trying to belittle and put in their place. So they know that they have to address you a certain way just by looking at your nationality, your skin tone. They know they call you black, but they know you're the Israelite, so they gotta approach you. That's why they approach us the same way each time, every stop. That's why they stop us. When they stop us, they are in violation of the Constitution. When they stop us, they're in violation of indigenous law, violating of human law. When they make themselves police over us, judges and police, they know we are the true judges on the earth. So when they make themselves judges over us, just by getting out, stopping you, they first have to see you. Then, if you're not breaking the law, they first have to see you. They know you're not breaking the law, so they have to tell themselves, well, I'm going to go up and gaslight these people. I'm going to accuse them of breaking the law, and I'm going to show my power over them. And if they do not comply or agree with me and how look at me, how I look at myself, then I'm going to escalate and harass them, oppress the poor and righteous man. That's a part of oppressing the poor and righteous man. So they already see, and they already are practiced, they already are trained to treat you in this way. They're already trained to treat you like this, right? So that is the training. Police are trained to do exactly what they're trained to do, what they're doing when it comes to the sovereign citizens, the judges of the earth, and God-given rights. They take that away. They take away your right to judge yourself and them. And if you continue to act like you have those rights, then that's when they will arrest you for being black, okay, for being Israelites, for being free, for being free. You're free in your mind. That means your mind is free from their propaganda machine, and they have to reconstruct you. They have to indoctrinate you to fix your mind because you think you're free. You think you have God-given rights. when you don't have any power on the earth. That's their thinking. So now the Most High has to adjust them, to reconstruct them, because we are too powerless to really defend ourselves against them. So unless we form security teams, which is going to make them hyping up their military action, which that's what they've done already. They hyping their military action up because we woke up and we look like an army. We look like the army Ezekiel saw, those dry bones coming to life. That brought fear on them, right? So, okay, let's keep going.
Step-by-step guide. A strong first impression opens doors. It can create new friendships, land you a job, or set the tone for a successful partnership. Follow these tips to make those precious seconds work for you.
And so you see what I mean? Those first appearance, when they first see you, the first indication that tells them how to deal with you or to approach you is that you're black. That must mean you're an Israelite. That must mean you're sovereign to the land. That means they have to approach you to see if you are still brainwashed, if you're still under the reconstruction of your brain. Psychologically, they have to see if you're still psychologically subjected to who the system is, to the system of slavery, mental slavery. And so the police are checking to see if you are still psychologically inferioritized, in other words, psychologically subject to their rulership of you. And so the police are the first line of defense to make sure everybody is psychologically subjected, enslaved, have chains on their minds to the system. That's, they can see how awoke or where they at. They check to see where they are as far as holding the power over your brain, because that's the first sign of being captive, being a captive. That's the first sign of them losing their power on the earth. They are checking to see if they still have power over your mind, because your mind controls your body, right? So if you are still enslaved in the mind, then they don't have anything to worry about your physical body being a danger to them or doing them any harm. Let's keep listening.
1. Dress to impress. Your clothes and accessories send strong messages. Want to appear confident and professional? Opt for outfits that reflect that, like a snappy jacket or subtle jewelry. 2. Mind your body language. Walk tall, maintain an upright posture, and keep your head high. Good posture not only portrays confidence, but also boosts your inner confidence. 3. Effective eye contact. Aim for 60-70% eye contact during a conversation. It conveys trust and sincerity. 4. Smile naturally. A genuine smile warms up your image and makes you approachable. A grin is often all it takes to flip the friend switch in someone's mind. 5. Perfect the handshake. In many cultures, a firm handshake still reigns supreme. Combine it with eye contact and you're golden. 6. Stay present. In this digital age, being physically present isn't enough. You need to be mentally engaged too. These small cues can transform how people perceive you, often tipping the impression scales in your favor.
So that stems back to, like we said, your dress code. If they see you're not dressed like they designed their style, American style, if you're not dressed like a person enslaved in their mind, that's why they create all the styles, because if you are participating in their style of dress, then that lets them know that you are following their standards. If you how you smile when you see them, if you recognize them, you will look at the colonizers, and you look at them and try to get their approval. You look at them, you staring at them, they see you staring, they walk past, and then you get close enough to nod your head. You nod your head. What do? They turn their head like you're nothing, you know. But when you walk by them and you don't see them, don't they always like get insulted? That's because you have broke the code. You're not on code. That means you don't recognize them as better than you know? So all of this plays a part. They notice all of this first impression and these are signs to show them, each individual white person, they have this standard. They call themselves white. If you don't treat them like they're white, like they're the top of the status quo, the top of the human status, then you are out of order. If you don't dress like them, you don't smile and bow your head to them, you don't salute them, then you're out of order. And somebody's got to come and check this robot out and make sure it's malfunctioning, is repaired. You got to repair him because he's malfunctioning. She's malfunctioning. They're not respecting us. They're not complying. They don't listen to us. They don't want to hear what we're saying anymore. They have their own identity. They don't accept the identity that we give them, their status on the totem pole. Even white people from other countries, like the Ukrainian people were saying, the Americans, when they came over here, the Americans tried to put them in their place and give them their status under the American whites. The other people that come over here claiming to be white, they let you be sovereign over us, but not over them. So let's keep watching. You understand? They are watching how you dress, how you acknowledge them, how you salute them, and they're saying this will help you get farther with them. So they're trying to promote you. Hey man, this is a good thing I signed up for this thing, because it's telling me a lot about them. Let's keep listening.
Make people feel important instantly. The top secret to a winning first impression: make people feel important. When others feel valued in your presence, they naturally warm up to you. This
Make people feel important. That's what they want you to do in order to get along with them. You got to make them feel important. That's the whole thing. That the world is changing now. That's what's making them go crazy. They'll burn this whole world down if you take that away from them. If you stop honoring them as the most important people on the earth, then they will burn the earth down. Right? So let's keep listening.
builds trust and likability almost immediately.
Trust and likability. They trust you when they know you're still brainwashed. When you lift them up on a pedestal, then they can trust you. When you don't, when you ignore them, you don't salute them, you don't dress like them, you don't want to be nothing like them, you want them to leave you alone, then they can't trust you immediately. That's how their brain works, right? That's how anybody that's indoctrinated and constructed psychologically by them, that's how you're going to think too.
Here's how. 1. Acknowledge them. Use their name when speaking to them. 2. Actively listen. Show interest in what they're saying by nodding and making appropriate comments. 3. Display positive energy. Smile, show enthusiasm, and be genuinely interested in the interaction.
Now we know basically these are human edification. This is how you edify everybody. You show interest in them. Everything they said was the way you can, the way you engage with people. But this is steering you toward how to prosper yourself in their world. That's what this course is about, how to prosper yourself in their world. They're not talking about how to treat everybody humane, because they don't treat us like that. That's how you know the people who design this program, they don't treat black people like that. They treat us in a different way. So they don't care about being your friend. They know how to be your friend. They know how to make you like them. They know how to make you feel good. You know, they know how to exalt you, and and to make you feel comfortable on this earth. But they don't do it, do they? But they're showing you how to do it. But they don't do it when it's concerning you. But they're showing you how to prosper with them. All right.
Common mistakes. Number 1, lack of attention. If you're distracted, checking your phone, looking away often, it can seem as though you're not interested. 2, overpowering body language. Standing too close or having a closed posture can be off-putting. 3, inconsistent messages. If your words and body language don't match, it can create mistrust.
Okay. So what they're saying, if you don't salute them, if you don't acknowledge them, if you don't do what they're saying you should do to acknowledge them and to exalt them on a pedestal, then they don't trust you. If you say, "Yeah, I like white people," but then do these things to make them feel comfortable, you don't hold you don't have their well being in your in as the forefront of your objective, their well being being the forefront of your objectives. You don't consider them first. You don't, then they don't trust you, because you're saying, "Hey, you all right, white people, we like you, but we just don't want to be around you. We don't want you ruling over us no more." Then they don't trust you. See, this is their plan right here. You got to think about it. This is how they're training our kids in school, okay?
4, trying too hard to please. Being inauthentic makes you look insincere. Authenticity beats pretense every time.
So, you see what they're saying? They're saying if they can tell when you don't like them, when you're faking, they do all of these things to us that they're saying we shouldn't do if we want them to like them, and want them to like us, and want to impress them and move us farther in life. They do none of these things that they just described that we should do to each other. And then, in other words, why are you trying to impress people anyway? You know what I mean? Okay, maybe you busy, you got something to do, but you ain't, sitting up when you see them, you ain't running to them, trying to get new information, get tips from them, understand, just help them to show you how they made it in life, and, give you tokens of understanding, pat you on your head, accept you, validate you. If you're not trying to get those things from them, and you just going on with your life and you all right, you don't need them anymore, then they don't feel comfortable. They feel irrelevant. They're not important anymore. How can the rulers, in their mind, they are the rulers of the earth. This is their kingdom, because their forefather Esau established this kingdom. And so we're not recognizing them, we're not honoring them as the kings and queens of this kingdom. When the Gentile times are over, the Gentiles, that's not only Edomites, which Edomites rule in every land, but they also have their bastard children, which are the mulattoes, the offspring of the Edomites and the indigenous people, their offspring, they set them up to rule too. And eventually what they do when they go in the country, get that melanin, steal that melanin and those features from the indigenous people, steal everything, their name, their melanin, everything, the land, then eventually they'll stop engaging with the indigenous people of that country, and they'll just go back. The mulatto people will go back to having offspring with their ancestors, the Edomites, and then they'll bring the the features, the genopool and everything back to white, you know. But they don't populate. They don't populate. Either the woman has a defect or the man has a defect. They can't normally populate, so they're going extinct. So they populate. They plant their seed, like Jesus was, like Yahweh was saying, that the while men slept, the enemy came and sowed his seed among the wheat and went his way. But that seed is going to keep multiplying. And as it multiplies, you're going to get a bunch of mulattoes in the land. And then those mulattoes, they turn around and just white out. They white out the indigenous gene pool. And that's how they stay numbers, how the numbers stay to where they will stay in power over the people who they have stole the land from. That's simple.
Reflect and act. Congratulations on learning to make your first impressions glow like a star. Here's your takeaway. First impressions shape long-lasting perceptions. It's not just about looking presentable, but being approachable and sincere. Focus on body language, eye contact, and a genuine smile. They build trust and likability. Be yourself. Authenticity is your greatest asset. Mini challenge. Pick a scenario, like a meeting or networking event. Plan your attire, body language, and what you'll say to create a stellar first impression. Then go practice it in real life. Remember, a genuine smile or a kind gesture could be the start of something great. Go out there and make the world like you instantly.
All right, I want to say fair use. I've exceeded your daily goal. I've exceeded your daily goal. I want to say fair use. I bought this. So, I'm going to share this with you guys. Shouldn't be any copyright infringement, because I bought this from them, right? So I'm going to share this first impression, conditioning the amygdala. Okay, so let's stop here.